easy items to do. And this too. Yeah, that's another recipe. Lots of recipes, yes. Okay.
More. That's all right.
It's fine. Everybody has a recipe? 2 actually? Yeah? Okay, good. You have 1 and there's another one coming. Thank you, David, and thank you, Gail. My awesome helpers and my husband.
Can I get some yellow and green?
Okay, great. You guys can have a seat and relax and enjoy the talk too. And maybe now I'll take off my, because this food I won't serve to you. I'll just, that way I don't have to use the gloves anymore. Because I've made food for you ahead of time. Alright, so my name is, I'll wait till David sits down so he can
That's a long
relax too.
first name.
So my name is Petra and I'm a nutrition educator, and glad to be here on this rainy, wonderful day. My mom is 88 now, and part of her health I contribute to her eating this muesli. So do all of you have this recipe that says muesli, the ultimate breakfast cereal?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And you have the one on overnight oatmeal, right? The other one that says overnight oatmeal. So overnight oatmeal is really an easy way to eat. I'll do it in stages now. Not everybody has a lot of time on their hands. So I'm going to show you a way to eat oats because they reduce your blood cholesterol in such a way that it's for people who have less time. And what I want to show you is that rolled oats, you want to get the ones that have whole grain, and I'll pass this around. You can get it at Down Home Foods. You also get it at Big Lots. Now we don't have a Big Lots here, but we do have it in Ukiah, and I always buy my organic rolled oats. It's the old-fashioned kind, but it says whole grain. Because what happens, let me see if I can find it, yep, right here. To make sure that grains last forever, what they do is, even with rolled oats, they take the germ out. Because it gets rancid quicker, and that's where you have vitamin E. It's a really great fat-soluble vitamin, and you have lots of fiber in here. So most of the oatmeal, almost all of the oatmeal that you get in the store has this germ removed, which is really vital for your health. And so what I do is I get this that has the whole grain, and that's what I use. So all you do is you follow the recipe overnight oatmeal, but don't cook it. You don't have to. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but all you do is take a bowl, you put some of the oats in there, you can add some dried fruit and then soak the oats and the dried fruit overnight. And then in the morning...
And you soak it in what, water?
Water, or I would suggest plant milk also, like either water or plant milk.
Plant milk?
Plant milk meaning that it is from plant source, like for example almond milk, or oat milk or soy. There's such a, or rice milk. There's such a variety of plant milks. Because here's the thing: plant milks don't have cholesterol. They don't have the saturated fat, and cow's milk have. So, so that's why I use plant milk for my cereal. So that's a very simple way, overnight oatmeal, how to make an oatmeal without even cooking it. If you wanted to, you could, but then you are losing more nutrients. But don't feel bad about it, you know, just cook it and eat it and enjoy it. And you could dress it with some fruit, like I would highly recommend that you always add some sort of berry to your cereal because of the antioxidant and phytochemical content. And then walnuts, I would recommend though that you soak them for 8 to 10 hours and drain the water because they are easier digestible that way. Walnuts also have omega-3 fatty acids, and I always put walnuts and some flax meal in my muesli. So that's the simple version. You use the rolled oats, but try to get the ones that are the whole grain. And that's Bob's.
Not if they're steel cut, I've also heard you should have steel cut.
Well, you can, okay, so you can do steel cut, but then you have to, you can soak them. So that's a good question. So you can go one step further. You can get the steel cut. You could cook it in the morning if you soak it, but you could also soak the steel cut and then eat it, quote, raw, if you wanted to. And the only reason for that is because then you have the phytochemicals and antioxidants and also the enzymes there then intact. However, let me show you a way to use sprouted grains, because what they have found in many different studies, and they are listed in this book, Becoming Raw. It doesn't, now, anybody eating salad or fruit or vegetables ever without cooking them, raise your hand. Did you ever had an apple? Did you ever eat an apple? Did you ever eat an apple raw? Okay, so we're all raw food eaters, and I'm not saying you should all be, you know, eating 100% raw, but we want to eat a lot of our food uncooked because the vital, the nutrients, the antioxidants, and the phytochemicals are the ones that easily get lost, and also vitamin C with cooking. And so this muesli, I have had my mom eat for more than 30 years. And what she does is she takes a grain, she has my old grain mill, not this one, I just brought this as a demo. You can use a coffee grinder like this one, put some dry grain in there, and then just grind it a little bit to chop it up kind of like the steel cut oats. And then you soak it overnight, and then with some raisins or other dried fruit. And then you can make it the way I'm showing you to do now with the sprouted grains. Now my mom has been eating it now for 33 years, and I contribute her good health partially to eating this muesli. And so, so here's how you do it. Either cut it, use it raw, but my preference is to use sprouts. Where I need just one other thing that I'm looking for. Sprouts. I can use these. All right. So what I've done is I have just used regular sprouts, regular grain, and then put them in a jar and put water on it for about 12 hours. And then you drain the water, and the instructions are on your piece of paper. And then you let them sprout. You see, the antioxidant content of grains when they are sprouted is much, much higher. And why do we need antioxidants and phytochemicals? Phyto means plant. So it's a plant chemical that helps protect the plant. But when you eat the plant, it helps protect you. So we want lots of phytochemicals in our food. The antioxidants, what do we need the antioxidants for? Just by being alive, by breathing, by possibly being exposed to toxins, which all of us are, just sunlight alone. And sunshine is good. You do need it to make vitamin D, so don't totally not go into the sun. Just by that, we're getting these free radicals in our body, and they are unstable molecule that want to take another electron from another molecule, and then a chain reaction creates where more and more molecules are unstable. And antioxidants, they are very generous. They are kind of like your helping hand. They give free electrons to these free radicals that would otherwise possibly cause cancer, for example. And so when you eat a lot of antioxidants that give an extra electron to these damaging free radicals, then you're helping prevent cancer and any other damage, also preventing aging. So really it keeps you healthy younger. So my recipe for today is that you just sprout the grains. So after you soak the grains for 8 to 12 hours, you drain them, then you let them sit on a rack. Then you rinse them twice a day till they develop a little tail. Here's my prop. So I'm going to let this pass around so that you can see that they are sprouted. Okay?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How long will that last after that process? So it's good. If I made enough for like a week, would
Oh, that's plenty. That would keep you pretty much. That would be for the whole week.
Okay.
See, and you can make a whole batch of sprouted grains for the whole week, pretty much. And then you keep it in the refrigerator, because if you put it in the refrigerator, it won't continue to grow. You just need a tiny little tail. And you can do the same with buckwheat. And buckwheat is not really a grain, but it's really extremely nutritious. It's also very alkalizing for your body. Most of our bodies are very acidic. So I'll pass this around just so you see these sprouted buckwheats. Okay? So once you have it sprouted and the instructions on your recipe, and you can call me if you like, and I can explain it to you, or you can come to one of my classes, and the information is here. I have a healthy weight management class that's starting on Wednesday at Safe Passage, and then there's also several nutrition talks at the CB Star Center. They're all free. Public Health pays for it. And
Tell them about the senior center.
yes, and at the Senior Center, November 4th at 12:15, you can enjoy their food at 11:30 that day. It's on a Friday, and then Karen Uphoff and I are giving a talk on nutrition. That's the first Friday of the month at the Senior Center at 12:15. It's also a free talk. I'm all about free, okay? So, once you have your grains sprouted, so here I have my sprouted grains. Yes.
Sorry, what grain was that one?
That is the regular sprouts. And that's the mixture, that's just wheat,
That's
wheat berries.
And then
But you can, that's buckwheat.
And that's buckwheat.
See, what you can do is you can use wheat, you can use kamut, you can use barley, you can use rye, you can do a mixture of it. And I also did the buckwheat because some people are gluten-free. Buckwheat, you can do gluten-free. And so I like a mixture because I like to use the buckwheat, and the buckwheat gets sprouted differently. The buckwheat, you only have to soak for about 15 minutes, and then you drain it. If you leave it in there too, there's this, it's not yucky actually, it's just, it has it will sprout even after you only soak it for 15 minutes. Very soft, the grain, the buckwheat itself. And so it will sprout within a day. And so you sprout the buckwheat separate from the other grains. And that's why I have that also listed on my, my recipe. Do you have any questions regarding the sprouting? Because usually, I should explain this in a whole hour, okay? And have you do it, but the more you practice, the better. Yes?
Oh, so when we buy these grains, just make sure they're whole and organic?
Yeah, organic really helps because then they're not sprayed. So then your liver doesn't have to deal with all these, on your kidney, with all these toxins. So organic, and you just buy the regular stuff. You don't have to go to the sprouting section. Like Corners has a sprouting section upstairs, but you can just get the grains downstairs.
So different grains sprout at different increments.
Yeah, so wheat sprouts a little bit quicker than rye, but I tend to just mix them together. However, the only thing that does not sprout is oats. And I just learned that actually, I learned it in this book, Becoming Raw. Finally, my husband and I were always wondering, like, why do the oats not sprout? Because they get, the oats that you get in the store, they're already steamed, because once the shaft gets taken off, it will go rancid in a very short time, and that's why they steam it and dry it again. And so the oats we get in the store, even though it's the oat groats, the whole grain, it is not raw anymore. So it doesn't have the vitality like the other grains have, because you can't sprout it. You can't start life. And that's why I like sprouting, because really you're eating food that from a raw state is becoming alive. It is ready to become a whole new plant. So you have way more nutrients, vital nutrients, more antioxidants, more phytochemicals in them that protect your body. And it tastes really good. So don't leave before you try it, but I want to quickly show you how to make it. It's very simple. So the sprouting is no problem. You just rinse it a few times till it has a tail, then you put it in the refrigerator and you can use it all week long. Okay? So then at night you have your bowl. Now I have already done it, but I soak these raisins, and I also like apricots, or sometimes I put figs in there. So I've already soaked them, but at night you soak them in just a little bit of water, or you can soak them in some plant milk. And then in the morning, my husband said that, change it, I have him read over my recipes. So he said, no, just tell them you can use the bowl that you soak the raisins in, okay? And now what I'm doing, I'm just adding my sprouted grains. I've already done the work, right? And they have grown now. So I'm adding my sprouts. And then I'm adding some chopped walnuts. And I chop them fresh because, foods are kind of fragile. The minute you use them, especially vitamin C, which they are not so much, but it's omega-3 fatty acids, and so they go rancid quicker.
Do you sprout your nuts as well?
I soak them, and especially the walnuts, but I do it in a big batch. I soak them and then drain them. But you'd only have to do that with almonds and walnuts because they are harder to digest.
How long do they take to soak?
They soak 8 to 12 hours, and you just rinse them, and then you can, and then I just let them dry, and then I put them in the freezer and leave some in my refrigerator. So here you get your omega-3 fatty acids. To get your omega-3 fatty acids that you need every day, they're essential for your brain. We all want our brain to work really well. So you need either 5 half walnuts or 2 tablespoons of flax meal. Okay? Very simple. That's all you need. You don't need a whole fish head or whatever. Or you don't need the fish tablets, the capsules. They're often rancid. So deal mostly with the walnuts and the flax meal. So I'm adding my walnuts, and then I'm adding a little bit of flax meal because it is just so healthy for you, and it tastes really good in my smoothie. And for a really great taste is I use organic lemons, and then I'm just adding a little bit of lemon rind, and that gives it such a wonderful flavor. I just totally love the, come on in. I totally love the lemon rinds. And so, kind of see how you like it. So I added that. It's kind of like making, you can have a seed, there seats here in front. You can have a seat. So it's basically making an apple pie, but it's raw. You don't have to cook it. So you want some lemon rind, you want some raisins, and now I'm adding the apple. And just recently, I looked at my really, really old book. I was in college then, and there was this doctor in Germany, Dr. Brucker, and he talked about how we get all these diseases of affluence by eating too much cooked food and also eating not enough plant foods. And so that's where I got my recipe from over 30 years, 1982. And I gave it to my mom, who is now 88. So one of the key things for the muesli is that you grate an apple. It makes it fluffy. And I looked at my original recipe, and it's actually a whole apple. So you can see how you like it, either half an apple or a whole apple. So I don't take off the skin. You don't actually have to. So you just use a regular grater and grate the apple. And I'm only going to do a quarter, but I now am up to 1 apple per my muesli in the morning. So I'm going to do, I guess, half an apple just to show you the volume. And it makes it really, really fluffy and extremely delicious. See, that's what I'm all about. It's like, yeah, it's good to eat healthy food, but it has to taste good. Especially if you eat it every day. And that's what I'm doing now. Every morning, I'm making my muesli. Now, I would also add the other half apple. What you want to do, though, then, is mix it under very quickly because of oxidation. Again, oxidation, it will brown. So you want to mix the apple under. And then I made oat milk, but you can buy milk, like almond milk. In this recipe here, I have almond milk, and this one there's oat milk. So I made my own oat milk because I like it creamy, and I love eating the walnuts and the flax meal, but it's higher in fat, and really the fats you eat are the fats you wear, but you do want some fats. You don't want just totally no fat. You just want the right fats, and that's especially the omega-3 fatty acids. So I made my own oat milk by soaking, and that's on your recipe. So by soaking 2 or 3 dates, take out the pit, soaking them, you can soak them overnight with the oats, either steel-cut oats, or you can use the oat groats that you can get at Corners or Down Home Foods, probably Harvest too, but they're called oat groats. And then you blend them together in the blender, and depending on how thick you like it. I love a creamy kind of a cereal and milk. So I use see how creamy this is? It's just loaded with delicious oat milk. And then I mix it up, and then I dress it with, I add banana. I just love banana. So whatever fruit you like. So I add some banana, and then like at least half a banana, the other half my dog gets with some almond butter. I have my routine down in the morning, okay? And then, oh, it's a spoiled dog. My husband gets jealous of my dog. I don't spoil him as much as my dog. I take him for walks, you know. My husband doesn't go for walks with me. He does a lot of things, but he doesn't go for walks with me. Then I would recommend putting some berries on there, especially blueberries are very high in antioxidants. So having some blueberries on there, or other like huckleberries, we have them locally here, or whatever berries are in season. These were frozen, so you can get frozen berries and just put them on. And now here's my muesli. It's a little bit. It's quite a bit, but it's maybe not as much. I added a few more, but that's about how much I eat in the morning. You know. so that's about 400 grams of really delicious food. And I have to say though, before I eat that, I go into my garden, and I'm lucky that my husband gardens really well. So I eat some kale, I eat some chives, I eat some parsley, I eat all kinds of leafy greens, because really that's what we need too. We get a lot of minerals from our leafy greens, and then we got a lot of vitamins from our fruit, and so that's a really good combo, having the leafy greens and then eating my muesli. Okay? So, any questions about the, yes?
So I guess the question is how long does it take? I mean, do you do this whole process, this whole recipe every morning, or do you?
Yeah, what I just showed you, the sprouting I do before.
Right.
But then it does take about 10 minutes, if you're fast. So it will take some time. But here's the thing. Okay, how important is your health? I am investing in my health right now, and it will take me 10 or 15 minutes to make this muesli. But the thing is, if I don't invest and cook or prepare food now, I'm going to be in the doctor's office or doing lots of surgeries or being just miserable, not being able to move my body later on. And it's going to take a whole bunch of my time. So really, the dividing line, my husband and I always say, is, are you preparing your own food? You need to prepare your own food. For one thing, you know what goes into it. And I like to eat out too, but not all the time, So making your own food is really key, spending that time. Yes?
Okay, so the other part of my question is, how much of it could like like with cereal, like sometimes it has cereal and then like fruit, it's all pre-mixed.
Yeah.
Like we pre-mix some of it and then just add the milk
Oh, yeah.
and the sprouts.
So the thing is,
I'm not a morning person.
No,
I'm never going to do this recipe.
So what you can do is, for example, for you it might be easier not to do the sprouts, but to do the oats. But you want the oats that are whole grain, where the germ is not removed. So it will say whole grain on it. Okay? So that you don't even have to do the sprouting. You just soak it at night, either in water or in milk, and ideally plant milk. Add your raisins, add your walnuts even, and then in the morning just grate your fresh apple. Grate the apple fresh in there, and then add some other fruit. And that can be a great muesli. You don't necessarily have to sprout. Sprouting is just one extra step in case you want more antioxidants and phytochemicals for good health. And so, are there any other questions? And what time is it? Because the new
About 6 minutes.
Oh, good. Yay. So, any other questions in regard to making the food, or make sure you get the recipes before you do. So then maybe we can take the time now to feed you. How about that? I have an enormous amount of food. So let me just tell you what I have. I totally overdid it. So here is the food with the oats. That are in the packet. So that's just the oats and some walnuts and some raisins and
Lemon.
apricots. Okay, I have bowls here for you. In this one here, I have the sprouted grains, but if somebody wants something gluten, and it's with the oat milk, and in this one, if you want a gluten-free, that's why I brought so much here. This is a gluten-free dish with almond milk and with the sprouted buckwheat. So you can try all of them as well, and of course, you don't have to eat a lot, but you're welcome to eat and try all of them. Yeah, and maybe we can help serve. Yes, so you could do some of these. What would you like? Which one? Do you want to try? What? What?
I want to try all of them.
All of them. That sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. And we have spoons here. So Don, can you help with the spoons here?
Want me to turn this off now?
Here.
Anybody else want to try all of them?
Yes,
Yeah, I'm okay.
I'll take all three. Twice, I'm picking up with somebody else.
Okay. Hello. Yeah.